it's Sabrina from the Combe family with the rest of the Combe family. Say hi, guys.
Hey.
So today we are doing an interesting video, as you have seen from the title, and as you can see from our house, everything is packed up. You can see there's nothing in the kitchen, there's nothing in our rooms either. So yes, we are separating for a temporary amount of time, and we wanted to explain that to you guys since we recently told everybody that I am pregnant. This is definitely unexpected by most people. Most people were asking me if I was going to deliver the baby in the village or if I was going to be closer to the city so that I could deliver there. Neither, because me and Safari are actually leaving Kenya. So that is going to happen in 2 days, and we wanted to explain to you exactly what is going to happen in that year or so that we're going to be apart and how we're going to come back together. We each have different goals and plans for ourselves and to better the family for this next year, and how we are going to make sure that we come back together as better people individually and a better family and stronger family together. So we will go ahead and get started with everybody's goals and plans so you can hear that. Okay, so this might be a weird angle to you guys, but we don't have anywhere else to record because there's nothing in our house. We sold all of our furniture, our couch. We actually had a guest staying with us last night that did their hair, and unfortunately she had to sleep on the floor because we don't have anything here. But we're leaving in 2 days, so that's kind of why we're getting ready for the move. So me and Safari are actually moving back to the United States for this year that we are separated. There are multiple reasons for that. We want to go ahead and stack our savings again. Not that we're in desperate need of money, but I am very cautious when it comes to our money, and I like to make sure that we are never in a compromising position. So we want to make sure that we restack our money, which is much easier to do in America, and we want to have the baby in America because that would just make it a lot easier in regards to citizenship, in regards to different complex things like paperwork, and also medical is much less worrisome. So that's what we have decided that we're going to do. And Shaha, what are you two going to do?
Yeah, okay. After we escort you and Safari back to the US, me and Georgina are going to go back to the village. And my plans, because this year is about to end, it's now late November. Yeah, I will be in the village. It will be a reunion with the family there, my mom, my dad, my brother and sisters, and my neighbors that I have not, I have been away from them for quite a long time. Yeah, and also there is the coming Christmas and the New Year. Hopefully I will be with them, celebrating with them. And after all that is done, I have done some few job applications here in Nairobi, and that is what I will be hoping for starting early January. I hope I will be employed somewhere in Nairobi, and I will be working, earning some little money as I am waiting for the time that we will finally be together again.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
So we are going to go ahead and go over everybody's individual plans. So of course we now know that Shaha and Georgina are staying in Kenya, and me and Safari are going back to the United States. But I've told you a little bit about what the overarching ideas and goals are for our individual situations, but now we're going to explain our own individual goals and plans for this coming year. So Safari, why don't you go ahead and start? What are your goals / plans for the next year?
So I really want to catch up on reading, and I really want to catch up on doing a lot more. When I have homework, I want to do have more friends than I did this year, and I want to spend more time with family than I did this year.
Okay, awesome, very good. So family, you're talking about family that you like didn't see this year, like not the people in this video.
Yeah.
So like grandma and niece or cousin and your aunts and stuff. Okay, awesome, very good. So make good use of the time that we're in America by seeing people and things that you can't see when you're not in America. Okay, Georgina, what are your goals/plans for the village and this year that we're gonna be a part of?
So when you get to the village, I'll be happy to get in the village, but I will be a little bit sad because I'm leaving my sister and my mother. So that will be a little bit sad, and I'll be also happy to teach some people English in the village, and I will help Bibi to do so many things in the village, like cooking, helping her fetch water, and that stuff. And I work also hard, like my homework to do well, and my exams, like to go in grade 3.
Yes, absolutely, very good. So she is actually going to be going to a public school, a government school in the village, because that's just easiest for all of us right now. So she kind of has to balance the fact that the teachers probably will not speak English as well as her. Let's be honest here. But like they still cane kids here, which is like whooping them, like beating them if they like talk back or do things bad. So she has to balance the fact that she is more educated in English than the teacher, but she can't be correcting the teacher all the time because then she'll just get caned. So she has to balance that, and she definitely wants to teach like some of her cousins and definitely her younger sister how to speak English, because she has spoke English or learned to speak English so well in the past 6 months. So now it's going to be easy to teach them. Also, we have given her a smartphone so that she can call us and we can call her, and we will discuss like what specific times and stuff like that, so we can make sure that she has data for those specific times so that she doesn't lose her English and we can keep up with that and just keep up with what she's doing and any stories that she has for us and vice versa. So Shaha, what are you told us a little bit about working and stuff like that, so what are any more goals/plans that you have for the next year for yourself or anything like that?
Yeah, mostly helping my parents. That is the thing that I will be struggling to fulfill, because my dad is old, not working. My mom is a housewife, so they normally don't have much to like food and other essential needs at home. So that is going to be my main focus.
Yeah, so that's a good point. So we've kind of already discussed, as you may be thinking, we have thought about this long and hard to come up with this decision, of course, which is hard for our family to just split up for even the shortest amount of time. But we have come to the conclusion that it's best for both of us if me and Safari and the baby go to America, and then I'm supporting us 3, and then Shaha is supporting him and his parents and Georgina and focusing on financially supporting them, as well as just being there for them because they're then in the same country. So we have split things up, responsibilities up in that manner. And so he is going to make sure that he is obviously provided for. He has to get some type of apartment in Nairobi because that's most likely where he will be working. And then Georgina's schooling and tuition and all of those type of things, uniforms and stuff like that. And then of course providing for his parents food and anything else that they may need. And then of course I have to focus on working, which will be mainly DoorDash, and I'm looking for adjunct online professor positions with my 3 master's degrees, but a lot of times they want PhDs, so I will still be looking for those positions. And with DoorDash, I need to buy a car and do all of those things when I first get there so that I can start working immediately. So we all have our kind of like tasks that we're going to be working on when we split in the next 2 days. So now we wanted to talk about how we will reunite and what some of those ideas are, because we are not fully settled on one particular way of reuniting. So we have a couple ideas here, and there's 3 main ones. So Shaha, you could talk about one, whatever one you want.
Yeah, the one plan was waiting for 3 years of us being married, adopting Georgina, and then apply for visas to go to the US as a family, of which that has been a challenge now because we have not adopted Georgina, and it won't be good for the family to just leave Georgina in Kenya and us being in the US, when all of the time we have been living as a family, spend time with each other, we are used to each other, so we thought that was not going to be a good idea. It will create a lot of sadness and emotions, and we are trying to avoid that. So after 3 years, then we can freely be able to travel, all of us as a family, without so many limitations.
Yes, exactly. So America is the first kind of reuniting situation that we have come up with. That one presents a lot of obstacles and is kind of costly. My friend recently gave me a agency that we could go through to make it a little bit simplified for ourselves that I'm going to look into. But with that, we would still have to, there's either 2 options there. So me and Safari stay in the United States for 2 years. Well, I guess it's only 1. And then Shaha comes and is with us for however long until we're married for 3 years. And then after that, which during that time, Georgina would still be in the village with her grandma. Then we come back and we make sure that we have proof that we've been financially providing for her, that we've been FaceTiming her, calling her all throughout almost every day, and all of that, showing how much we care, obviously, and how much we are invested in her being a part of this family. So with all of that evidence, we can then go and adopt her with, of course, her mom's permission, who she is very on board. And then with her being adopted, she will get a US passport, and then we will have no problems with her coming to the United States. And by that time, we would already have gotten Shaha's spousal visa, and thus all 4 of us, well, 5 of us then, will be able to go to America, no problems whatsoever. So that is the first idea that we are going to pursue regardless, because we want to have that option to be in America whenever we want, or to go there for holidays if we want, or whatever the case may be. We want all 4 of our older family members to be able to have that option of travel inside the United States. So the next one is the one that is not so favorable, and that is all of us reuniting back in Kenya. So I love Kenya. That's where my husband is from, and that's where we have lived for the past 9 months, and we have been very happy here. But the issue is corruption and the government and all of that. I have talked to many people who are in a similar situation as us, like a foreigner and a Kenyan married, and it's just ridiculous. Like you pay off this person, and then they still don't do what they promised that they would do for you to give them that money. And then we have literally went to the government building, I am not exaggerating, over 20 times now for absolutely no progress. Absolutely no progress. So it's just kind of ridiculous. If you guys have seen our marriage video, we talked about somebody that has been helping us significantly in this process. And he has helped us in many instances, but this one is definitely an epic fail, and it's really affecting our family being able to stay together in Kenya. So Kenya is not our favorite option because you just have to jump through too many hoops, you know? Like, I don't even understand how international families are living here together legally, you know, because there's just so much stuff that you have to work through. I think that either if you're an international family, you're living here illegally, or you have so much money that you can ridiculously pay off people, and then they're like, okay, you're number one on the list, you paid me so much money, that's my whole year's salary, you know? And we're kind of in the middle, like, we want to do things right, but we don't have all the money in the world, you know, and so then that puts us in the middle to where we pay people off to do things because that's how it works here in Kenya, and then they just don't do it even though they said they would. So that has been a real problem for us, especially our unique dynamic of also having Georgina and all of the stuff that is encompassed in our family. So that is the second option, and the one that we are least likely to actually pursue. So Shaha, you want to start us off with the last option?
No, just explain this.
Okay, I'll explain the last option, which is the newest option, and we were given this option from somebody who is in the exact same position as us, actually. She has a Kenyan husband, and she is from the United States, and they have kids together, but they are not traveling with kids that are not theirs together. But she actually moved to Mexico with her husband, and she said that that was like the easiest thing that they've done. Like, before I even said anything about how I feel about Kenya and the government, like, she said the same thing. She was like, I don't want to have anything to do with like the Kenyan government. They actually got married in Mexico because they didn't have a certified copy of their marriage license in Kenya. And she was like, it was cheaper to get married in Mexico than deal with the Kenyan government and having to pay all of this corruption just to get something done. Like, here it's just ridiculous because they tell you, oh, this costs $45, this document, right? And then you pay the $45, and then there's absolutely no progress on it. For months, for years, there's no progress on it until you pay someone off to actually pick up that application and look at it, right? So that is what we're dealing with. And this friend that has told me about her living in Mexico with her family, she said that it was very easy. Obviously, it's easy for U.S. citizens to go to Mexico on a temporary residency. So she did that and went to America to do that. Then her husband applied at the Mexican embassy here in Kenya so that he could get the 30-day tourist visa. So then when he went to Mexico, he changed the tourist visa to a temporary residency, and she said that that was a piece of cake. So then they're both there on temporary residencies, and they're able to live there for 4 years. So I think that would be an awesome option for us. Shaha could make a lot more money in Mexico than he could in Kenya, and I think that the job market is a lot easier to handle in Mexico than it is in Kenya. So that's definitely an option that we're pursuing, especially depending on how long the spousal visa takes in America. Because if that takes extra long, then we'll just be together as a family in Mexico until that processes. However, we do have to come back to Kenya, regardless of if that's on a tourist visa or whatever the case may be, so that we can adopt Georgina, because that has to be done in person. So we will come back here when we've been married for 3 years so that we can do the adoption process, get her US passport, and handle all of that, and then proceed from there, whether we go to Mexico or we go to America together as a family. So those are our 3 options, and we would love to hear your guys' comments on what you think is best for us, or if you guys have personal experiences being in these unique situations with an international marriage. So does anybody else want to say anything on this separation?
Georgina has mentioned something about being so sad that we want to be together anymore for a period of 1 or more years. I also want to say that I'm going to be so sad that I won't be there to witness the birth of our expected child.
Yes.
That's not okay.
Definitely. Yeah, I definitely agree. Like with Safari, I don't know, some of you might know like the story of how Safari came to be on this beautiful planet. But it was very much a me thing. There was nobody else involved whatsoever. So like I never had that other person that's just as invested, you know, like that we made this baby together and we're going to be there to raise this baby together, you know. And so I was so excited to have that experience with Shaha and for him to hold my hand when I'm giving birth and all of those type of things that you appreciate so much more when your first child you don't have that, you know. Like I had my mom and my sister there, but it's not the same, you know. Like they are extended family. They're not like the person that's in the mix, you know, that's going to be taking care of that kid on a daily basis and be involved as the mom and dad are. So I was really looking forward to Shaha being there, and we did consider having the baby here, but I just think that after a lot of conversation about medical and all of that, I just think that it would be best for us to have the baby in America and easier on the citizenship and all of that stuff. So that is what we have decided. Yes, we will still video chat, of course, like during the birthing situation. Yes, we will still video chat like Georgina and Shaha every day so that they could see the baby, talk to the baby could hear the different accents, right? But yeah, unfortunately, this is the best option for our family, and many tears have been shed already. So I think it will make us stronger as a family. I think that it will add different dynamics to all of our relationships intertwined and allow us to just build and strengthen our family together, you know, just by being apart and focusing on our career goals, our financial goals, all of those type of things before we come back together. So I think that will help us a lot, and absence makes the heart grow fonder. I think that, I think all of this is rough.
A bitter pill to swallow.
Yes, that is for sure. It is very sad for all of us, but I think that at the end of this year, we will be so much stronger. So we can look forward to that. We can look at the positive things and how much stronger in every aspect of our family's life we will be financially, relationship-wise, location-wise. We will figure out our life and where we can live together as a family legally. So yeah, we can look forward to all of those things. So I think that's it. Do you guys want to say anything? No? Okay, so yeah, that's what we wanted to share today, and make sure that you guys are updated on our lives and this drastic change that is happening in our lives. And yeah, we would love to hear your guys' opinions, especially if you've been in a rough situation like this, how it turned out, any advice or comments that you guys might have for us during this time apart. We would love to hear those things. So please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and we will see you in our next video. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.